Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about the user role management. So in this video, I will start a new session. It's about the admin panel management. And into this session, first of all, I want to start with the author. Like how can create the author, how can show your all that author list, and how can manage the author permission rules. Each and everything step by step, I will show you with the live example. So for manage the author permission entity, we need to add some of the Entrust user trait. Like I already discussed about that things with you, like that is the or if you search with the Entrust, like here I just search with the Entrust, and into the Entrust they have some of the link, like there is our GitHub link, so I just open it. So before I already discussed about that things with you, how can install that Entrust package. So now we need to add some of the Entrust trait. Like if you go to the user Entrust trait, like here there is actually the user Entrust trait for the permission. So first of all, here we have to actually add this Entrust. So I just copy it, and in our user model, so if you go to the user model, like here there is an app, into the app, here there is a user model. So now I just open it, and into the user model here, first of all, I just added that our Entrust. Okay, and then also we have to add this, like this one. So I just copy that Entrust user trait for the user permission. Like here I have to add the things on particular that area. So now we have another instructions, like we have to actually run that composer dump autoload. So for now I just copy it, and now first of all I have to actually run it. So now go to our project directory, and here I just open the CMD, click on the enter, and into the project directory here I just paste it. There is a composer dump and the autoload. So it should be regenerated all that autoload dump. Okay, so for now I just click on the enter. So it will take little time. So when it should be done, then I will come back again. So now here our package generated successfully. So all that file is now generated. Now I want to create one of the controller for the author. For creating the controller, we have to write as a PHP artisan and make and then controller. And then in our admin, I want to create it. So I just define that admin folder name. And then I just define that our controller name as author controller, and I just want to create one of the resourceful controller. Okay, so for that reasons I just define the resource. So I just define the resource and click on the enter, and now our controller created successfully. So if you now go to our controller area, like there is a HTTP and there is a controller, and here there is an admin controller. So into the admin folder I just created one of the controller as the author controller. And now our index method here, I just want to load one of the page as a list page. So I did that type of lot of the time, like here you can see I just define on the page name, and then there is a return view. I just added that things with the list page. So right now I just want to do the same things for our index. Okay, for doing this, first of all here I just take one of the variable. So I just take one of the variable as a page name, page underscore name, and page name is equal to, I just define one of the page name on here as the author. So here I just define the page name as authors, and now I just want to add some of the query. Like I just want to get all the data, like all that author data from our database. For the reasons here, I just take one of the variable as the author. And now here with our user model, so I just define our user model, and I just put one of the condition as a where. And into this where condition, I just want to get our author data from our database table. Okay. Like if you go to that positions, like if you go to our database, and here there is our database as a users. So for now I just open it, and into the user here you can see I just define one of the field name as a type, and into the type field here, one is for the our admin and two is for the author. Okay, so for the reasons I just defining that type. So right now I want to get all the two data type, that means the author type. So for now I want to actually get all the two type data. For doing this here, I just defining as a where, and then I just defining the field name as a type. So I just defining the type, and here I want to get the two data, that means two type data. Okay, and I want to get all. So here I just define that get. So he'll be get all the data from here, and now I want to return it. Return, and then I just want to return it to the another view page, so that the view page we have to create in our admin, and then I just defining as the author. So I will have to create one of the folder as author, I have to also create another page as a list. So here I just defining that page name as a list. Okay, and now I want to compact all the data. So here I just compact it, and into the compact area, first of all, here I just pass our page name, and then I just want to pass our that authors all the data. So here I just passed it. So I think it should be very much clear to you because I did this type of work a lot of the time. So now we have to create that author folder in our admin. Like if you go to the resource, and that is our view, and in our view there is an admin folder. So into the admin folder here I want to create another folder, and I just name it as author. Okay, so now I just create it, and into the author folder here I want to create another one of the page. I just click on the save as, and here I want to create one of the page as a list .blade.php. Okay, so I just save it, and this list page will be like, for now there is a permission here also that I have one of the pages as a list blade. So right now I just copy all the things from here. Okay, I just copy whole things from to this position, and I just paste it on particular that page area. That means for the author. So right now I want to actually customize it as per our demand. Like here I already defined one of the page, like there is a author list page. So for the reasons I just create that list page, and here also we pass our page name, okay, and the authors. And here you can see I already did that type of work in our permissions. Like if you go to that positions, like there is a, I already pinned the page name on here. Okay, and also they have some of the page name, and there is a create button. So before that was actually back permission create. So right now I have to create one of the route for this one as an author. So I just define that author. Okay, so I just define that author and then the create, and that's all our field. There is name, display name, the description. So now go to our database. Like here we need to add the name, email, and also there is one of the type. Okay, so there is a type. So this type is means the rules. Okay, so for now I just want to update that all fields. So here I just name it as a name, and then the email, and then here I just defining as a role. I just defining as a role on particular that position. So that is actually all that our data. There is a name and the email. So this field name is the email. So here I just define that email. Okay, so here I just define that email, and another field is the role. So I will do that work later. Okay, right now I just make the things as a blank, and also there is another edit button, another the delete button. For the edit I just want to create it as a author. So I just customize it. I hope you can well understand about it. So for the delete, so here I also want to create another route for this one, the back, author, and the delete. Okay, so for now I just click on the save all, and I want to do the another things. Like if you go to our admin here, I want to add another menu button on particular that position as an author. So that is in our sidebar navigation. So if you go to the view, that is the admin, and that is actually the layout. Okay, and that means in our admin layouts here there is a navigation, and into the navigation before I already added that permission rules. So for now I just copy it. I just copy, and I just want to add another one, and this URL will be the back and the your author. Okay, so I just defining as author, and here I just name it as authors. Okay, I just defining as authors. So for now I have to create that route. Okay, so for the author. So for doing this I just want to go our route area, and into this position, like after that. Okay, after that I just copy it. I just copy it, and after that here I just paste it, and now there is a gate, and into this position now I just assign one of the URL as the author. Okay, I just define that author, and in our admin I already created one of the controller for the author. Like here there is our controller, so I just define that auth controller. Okay, I just define that author controller. So for now I just copy it, and here I just define our author controller, and in our author controller I already created one of the method as the index. Okay, so here I already created that method, and into this method area here you can see I just use that user model. So we have to actually use that user. So here I just define that use, and then app, and then here I use the author user. Okay, I just define that user on particular that area. So hope you can well understand about it. And now if you click on the save all, and now if you want to access that URL, that means this author. So now I just want to access it after the back, and then I just access the author and now click on the enter. And here is showing as the undefined variable data. Okay, so it actually means if you go to the auth controller, that is author controller, and here I just defining that variable as a author, so you cannot actually use it. So here I have to use as a data. So I just define that data, and now I just pass that data on particular that area. Now click on the save all, and now if you now refresh that page, yes, now you can see it's now loaded on particular that position. So I hope you can well understand about it. Here our page name is now showing on here as the authors. Okay, and also he gave only the two data. That means if you go to your database table, here you can see that the two type data is the Ariyan. So right now he only get that two type of data, that means the author data, and now it's visible on particular that page area. So I hope you can well understand about it. So next video I will work in our create options, like how can create the author and how can insert that data into the database table. I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.